Hello everyone. We already discussed different words of the flower. Today we are having a brief discussion on the words of the flower as well as the important definitions which are asked in the examinations frequently. So as we discussed in the previous class that there are four words in a flower which are called as respectively the outermost is calyx, unit is sepal, second is corolla, unit is petal, third whorl is androecium, unit is stamen, and the fourth whorl is gynoecium, unit is pistil. Now depending upon their cohesion, means whether they are fused or free, we have classified them variously. First, start with the first definition as given in the book, that what do we understand by a complete flower. So complete flower is something which is having all the four whorls together. If a flower consists of all the four whorls together, that flower is called as a complete flower. And if any of the whorl is missing out of these four, that is called as incomplete flower. Don't be confused with the incomplete and imperfect. I'll discuss imperfect later on. Next, we are moving with the second definition, essential and non-essential whorls. So, essential whorls of the flower are those whorls which are actually taking part directly in the reproduction. So, those whorls of the flower which are concerned with the reproduction are called as essential whorls. Those are respectively stamen and carpel. Then we are moving with the non-essential whorls. Non-essential or accessory whorls are those whorls of the flower which are protecting the reproductive parts of the flower. That is, calyx and corolla are the non-essential whorls which are protecting the reproductive whorls or essential whorls of the sorry flower. Next, we are moving like what is perianth? Definition number 4 will be perianth. What is perianth? If calyx and corolla or sepals or petals cannot be differentiated, as in case of the lily. You must have seen there is no calyx, no corolla, rather there are two whorls of the similar kind of structure. So that is called as perianth, and unit of perianth is called as tepal. If perianth are non-green in color, means they are colorful, then it is called as petaloid perianth, and if it is green in color, just sepal-like, it is called as sepaloid perianth. Here another structure we are getting, that is called as bract. When we talk about bract is nothing else but a beautiful leaf-like structure in the axial of which flower arises. As you have seen in case of bougainvillea, this is the definition number 5 we are discussing. In the form of word meaning, if you are preparing this chapter, you will score higher marks. And in this case of bract, you see here bougainvillea is there. B for bract and B for bougainvillea. You can remember this in this way. So in bougainvillea, what colorful magenta color petal like structure you can see, that is not the petal, that is actually the bract in the axial of which these three small flowers are arising. So whenever they are asking about bract, you have to discuss about bougainvillea. Next definition is there, which is called as nectaries. It is found in case of insect pollinated flowers or entomophilous flowers. So those flowers which are producing nectar, they are containing nectar producing glands at the base of the ovary or at the base of the petal. So these nectar producing glands are called as nectaries, which is releasing a sweet fragrant liquid called as what? Nectar, attracting insects for pollination. So this was a little introduction about various additional structures found in the plant. Now let's move with the sexuality in the flowers. So as we know, even in case of plant, there are two options, male and female flowers, male and female parts. So male part is called as stamen, men is there. So stamen, and female part is called as carpel. If this male and female part is present in the same flower, then that flower is called as bisexual, hermaphrodite, or it is called as the perfect flower. So whenever perfect term we are using, we should not confuse it with the complete flower. Complete flower must be containing all the four whorls, but perfect flower is a flower which consists of both male and female reproductive structure in the same flower, just like a bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. Symbol for bisexual or hermaphrodite flower is something like this, which you will study in higher classes. Next, we are moving with unisexual flower. So, if flower consists of either stamen or carpel, it is called as unisexual. And these unisexual flowers will be of two types. It could be staminate if it consists of only stamen. It could be pistillate if it consists of only pistil. Again, you have one more situation. If staminate and pistillate flowers are present on the same plant, then it is called as monoecious. If it is present on the different plant as in papaya, it is called as dioecious. So these terms you will study later on in this same chapter. There is third condition which is called as neuter flower. A flower which is neither having a stamen nor having carpel, both the reproductive parts are missing over there. As in case of ray floret of sunflower as well as marigold, these flowers are called as neuter flowers. Neuter means neither male nor female. Now in calyx we have used a term. I have discussed a flowchart yesterday where we have discussed about various conditions of fusion and whether it is free or fused. So that you can see over there. Here I'm just giving the briefing of the paragraph. So polysepalous term I have covered there. Poly means separate. So if sepals are free from each other, as in case of mustard, this is called as polysepalous condition. In the diagram you can see at the base only sepals are attached, but their main claws are free from each other. So this condition is called as polysepalous. When sepals, suppose five sepals are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These five sepals are fused together and making a whorl, or you can say cup-like structure over here. This condition is called as gamosepalous. As in case of China rose, this structure is called as gamosepalous condition. So this will be helpful for making floral diagram and floral formula when you are writing. Next, sometimes an additional whorl is present in case of China rose. Suppose this is the sepals of the China rose. So outside the sepal, an additional whorl of green color was present, and this additional whorl is called as epicalyx. And this epicalyx is an additional whorl of calyx present outside the calyx. It should be 5 to 7 in the number, and it consists of uh, episepals as unit. Next, we are moving that because it is green in color, so obviously performing photosynthesis. Next, move to corolla. Again, if petals are fused with each other, it is gamopetalous. If it is free from each other, polypetalous. As in mustard, you can see these petals are free from each other. They are only attached at the base. So this condition is called as polypetalous. Whereas in case of this canary, you can see, or in case of datura, these petals are fused to form a tube-like structure. In Solanaceae family also is called as gamopetalous, colorful, so they are attracting the insect for pollination. And Rotium, we already discussed that it is having two structures, anther and filament. In this anther, the formation of pollen grains takes place. These pollen grains are containing male gamete, which you will be studying in the higher classes. Then, or in the next chapter, pollination and fertilization, you will see that here you will be having pollen grain production inside the microsporangia or anther. Now, next structure is called as gynoecium, but here also there are three conditions for the free condition or fused condition of the stamen. If all the stamens are free from each other, as in case of mustard, so if stamens are free from each other, then that condition is called as polyandrous. Although diagram is not given here, but I'll draw it for you as in case of mustard. If you have seen in the mustard, the two smaller anthers or stamens are outside and four larger are present in this way. So if this kind of condition is there, this is called as polyandrous condition as in mustard. Then we will be having the adelphous condition if filaments are fused in different groups. In case of China rose, you have seen that filament is fused only in one group, making a staminal tube where kidney-shaped or monothecous anthers are present. So that condition is called as monoadelphous in China rose. Example may be asked in the examination. Next, we will be having diadelphous condition. In this diadelphous condition, you can simply see that 9 stamens are present in one group, whereas one stamen is separate. So here you can write it in this way that 9 stamens are present in a group and one is separate. So this is called as 9 plus 1 diadelphous condition in case of pea family. And in case of bombyx, as you can see that these stamens are in the group of 5, in 5 different groups if they are present, so it is called as polyadelphous condition. More than this, 2 more conditions are there which is not given in this book, but you should know that if anthers are fused together and filaments are free, I discussed already in the flowchart slide which I have discussed in the previous class. So these anthers are fused together but their filaments are free. This is called a syngenesious condition found in case of disc florate of sunflower. And in case of cucurbita or pumpkin, you must have seen all these anthers are fused together and this filament is also fused together. So this knob-like structure is produced, which is called as synandrous condition in pumpkin. Next, we are moving with the female part. That female part is called as gynoecium. In gynoecium, unit is carpel, and this carpel may be free or fused. If it is free from each other, it is called as apocarpous condition, maybe not given here. And if it is fused, as in case of the diagram of cucumber, you must have seen that we are drawing this diagram. It is having 3 segments. So these 3 structures which are produced over here, these are basically called as the carpel, and these carpels are fused with each other, then this condition is called as syncarpous condition. So apocarpus you will get in case of Nelumbo nucifera, that is lotus, and syncarpous condition is found in most of the dicot families. Now next we are moving to the topic which is called as placentation. In the placentation, you must have seen the pattern of arrangement of ovules in the wall of placenta. If this is a fruit, and in this fruit the ovules are present in this way. Ovules are present at the margin. So this is having the marginal placentation. I am drawing the P part over here. So ovules are present and then they are attached to the wall of ovary with the help of a small stalk. So this small stalk is called as what? It is called as placenta, and placenta is the small minute stalk-like structure with which ovules are attached to the wall of ovary. So monoecious and dioecious already I have discussed with you all. Next we are having inflorescence. This progress check we will do later on. So inflorescence is what? Pattern of arrangement of flowers on the axis of flower, like how flowers are arranged on the stem, that is called as inflorescence. So here 2 types of inflorescence you can see. One is racemose, other is cymose. So in racemose the old flowers are present at the base and new flowers are coming in the upper region. So tipis keep on growing. This is called as acropetal succession. Whereas in case of cymose inflorescence, what happens? Suppose this is the stalk, and at the stalk the terminal flower is coming. No option for further growth. So from the node another another branch is coming out. Again flower arises. So again growth stops. Then from next node you will be having next flower. So you can see the oldest flower is at the top and new flowers are growing towards the base. This is called as basipetal succession. The 2 different types of inflorescence you will study in the higher classes. Now placentation already I have discussed. This is the manner in which the ovules are arranged to the wall of ovary. So almost every topic I have covered in the previous class. Today I have just given the briefing that each and every topic was covered by me in one single flowchart of this chapter. Now this exercise is given which you may solve and we will discuss in the next class, or diagram based question we will discuss right now. In this diagram you can see the diagram is given and you have to label 1 to 10. So here you have to see carefully that what is 1. When you are talking about 1, this 1 is nothing else but the anther. This 1 structure is called as what? This is called as anther, and the second is called as filament. This is called as filament. So altogether if they are asking it, that is called as what? Is called as stamen. Now here third is the structure present inside the ovary. So there are 2 things you have to see, that third structure is ovule and the fourth is going in the center, the stalk with which it is attached. So you can write it as the placenta. Fifth is again the stigma, style and ovary. You can see fifth is stigma, sixth is style, and seventh is ovary. So altogether this is making the carpel. Then ninth structure you can see as the petal, and tenth is thalamus or receptacle. Here number eighth is also asked. Eighth is petal and ninth is sepal. Ninth will be sepal. So this way you have to do labeling in the ICSE questions diagram. ICSE exam diagram based questions are asked. So if you will identify them wrong, the next question where the function they are asking will be automatically wrong. So you should be very careful while you are solving it. Now another diagram is given here. They are asking what is it. In this diagram, the major organ which is shown over here, what is it? Just a minute. Now the major organ which is shown over here is called as anther or stamens. Just a minute. So which major organ of the flower does the figure represent? So it represents stamen. What is the collective term for this organ? When we talk about collective term, that is called as androecium. Next we are moving, are the contents of the pollen sac in bee male or female? So bee is again the part of the anther only, you can say the cross section of the anther. So here you can simply see that it is the bee part is also the male part. Can you state how the content of pollen sac would come out? By rupturing of the sutures, it is releasing its pollen grain. So just go through the content, solve the questions, and if you are facing any problem in the exercise, kindly mention in the comment. I will answer to those questions. So that's all for today. I have just discussed two diagram based questions which will help you. Thank you.